So, I was supposed to finish the last video on how municipal government in Canada works, which is entitled The Future of Canadian Municipalities. And I was supposed to finish it on Election Day in Ontario, Municipal Election Day in Ontario. And tonight I'm in Alliston, Ontario at a committee meeting. And on Election Day, I really couldn't think of it. I really couldn't finish of it. Because, among other things, I had to do some reflection on what exactly is the future of municipal government in Ontario. The other thing is my YouTube account wasn't quite functioning then. I had a video on how to vote in municipal elections that never got uploaded. It's kind of a moot point to upload it now, so whatever. But I wanted to do some thinking about what exactly is the future of municipal governments in Canada. And I'll say a few things in this regard. First and foremost, I'll say that municipal governments in Canada, no matter what their failings in past or in future, deliver vital services to the Canadian people. And as other levels of government, federal, provincial, download more services due to financial restraint, it is likely that this trend would increase as time progresses on, rather than decrease. Many politicians campaign on the promises of making government smaller and more efficient. One way to do this is to allow someone else to offer these services. It therefore stands to reason that the level which is most likely to offer these services is, in fact, municipal governments, since by and large in Canada, municipal governments do not control which services they offer. They are mandated to offer services. So that's one feature for Canadian municipalities. You may see further economic downloading, further service delivery downloading. And in some cases, it does make sense to have these services delivered by municipalities. But I'm not completely convinced that's it, for a number of reasons. First and foremost, I'm not completely convinced that's it, for a reason that you're seeing something else in Canadian municipalities, and you're seeing a great deal of innovation. You're seeing innovation in service delivery and programming. And you're not seeing that to the same extent in senior levels of government. And I think this is due in no small part to the fact that senior levels of government are so large they cannot be innovated on their own, since the organizational structure is such as to delay them becoming innovative. So I find this phenomenon very interesting. We're seeing structural changes in Canadian municipalities. Chief among these structural changes, which to me is one of the most interesting phenomenons, is the change in the structure of the municipal operations. We're seeing fewer and fewer, by and large, small municipalities. We are seeing municipalities merge, consolidate, and annex in far greater numbers than ever before. So you're seeing bigger governments, bigger cities at municipalities. So these are some very interesting things for the future. So in some ways, the future Canadian municipality needs to be both small enough to be able to be dynamic and create change, but also big enough to be able to adapt to change when needed. This is no small feat, and in many respects, I kind of think we may not see current trends in regards to annexation and amalgamation continue. And I take a look at the city of Toronto, and I see the city of Toronto needing some major structural alteration in order to function effectively. And those who do not fully believe me only need to look as far as Mr. Ford's victory to see that there is a disconnect in Toronto over service delivery. But at the same time, you need to create reasonable structures. Unlike the current structure of the city of Montreal, wherein the structure is so big and so complicated that it affects citizens' involvement, and citizens are not as involved as other municipalities. So this is an interesting phenomenon. We cannot sustain our municipalities as small municipalities, as in the case of Northern Ontario. Yet we cannot sustain our municipalities as large municipalities, as in the case of the City of Toronto or the One Island, One City project in Montreal. I only need to look to other failed municipal projects to see that there are others. The Unicity in Winnipeg is a great example. So, what then do we do? Do we strike a layered system of municipal government? If so, how many layers are appropriate? Is Montreal's 5-layered municipal system of government appropriate? Or shall we go back to the days of a metropolitan Toronto type layer of government? Or should we look elsewhere? Should we look to maybe British Columbia's system of government, wherein municipalities are creatures of the province, and the regional districts, for all intents and purposes, are creatures of the municipality? Maybe this is the future. I'm not sure. I'll conclude this interesting video with a few points on municipal governments and a few conclusions which I have come to. First and foremost, we say, and our laws definitely makes it clear, that municipal level of government is the level closest to the people. On the other hand, we say you can't fight City Hall. These two realities do not go well together. Yet many will say both are true. We say Municipal governments need to be small and efficient. Yet too small is a problem, yet too large is a problem. The ultimate strength of municipal government in Canada is it lies in the adaptiveness that municipal governments can be. And the adaptiveness of municipal governments, despite governance arrangements, ultimately is where the future lies. That's my series.